I've got a pretty good sized piece of juniper. It's 15 inches long, about 12 tall, and about 5 inches thick. I know the wood is really pretty because I've turned some from the same tree. And I've been asked, how do I know how to mount something like this so I can get a nice shape out of it? I don't have the answer for this one, I'll guarantee you that. I put a faceplate on this 9 months ago, and I've gotten it out a few times. I put it in the lathe and I think, well, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. Well, guess what? I still don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I do know there's some really pretty wood in there, and today's the day we're going to find out what we can get out of this piece. So let's get it mounted up and start turning it. Okay, so I've got it mounted up. I've got the live center against it. It's not perfectly balanced, but it's pretty good. Something else I didn't mention besides the odd shape, it's an end grain turning. So maybe that's why I let it sit so long. And, well, I'm stalling again, so we're not going to put this away. We're going to see what we can make out of it. Hopefully I can use the whole piece, that's the idea. And whatever it looks like is what it's going to look like. So let me get my face shield on and we'll get going. Freshly sharpened 5/8 bowl gouge. We're actually getting somewhere. See if I can give you a better view of this. Alright, I think for sure I'll want a tenon on this, and I'll use my larger set of jaws for that. Okay, I have a mark right about there that should be the size of the tenon that I want. Okay, I'll cut that in there with this 1/2 inch bowl gouge. I'm going to go ahead and try to clean this area here up, and I think it might work okay. It's been cutting fairly good. And then we'll finalize this area here where the tenon and the base is at. Got about 500 RPM almost. Alright, so I'm trying to define these areas that stick out and give them some shape, which I think that actually looks better. I'm going to go from the top again because it's going to help to keep from pulling this potato skin bark off. Well, it felt pretty good, and I did smooth this out here and had a small ridge right there. I'm going to see if I can clean some of this up with the negative rake scraper. I spent a lot of time going over this with the negative rake scraper, and it really looks good. And most of these look good. This one, that was really hard to do. This is about 10% wood, 90% air as you come around here. So it'll sand out pretty nice, so I'm pretty sure. I'm going to sand it in reverse at about 450 RPM because of the airspace. 80 grit, I work my way up through 400, and when I come back, we'll put a finish on the bottom. So I'm going to get my dust collector going and a mask, and we will start sanding. Okay, it is time to put a finish on it, and it actually took quite a while to sand these areas up, but it came out pretty nice. It's nice and smooth. And so I was choosing between shellac and wipe-on poly. And I don't know, something's just driving me to use wipe-on poly on this, so that's what we're going to do. And I'll just hope it's the right decision. So far, I like it. And I think the piece will look real nice with it, because it'll create a really nice finish. But so does shellac. Oh yes, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So we're just going to go with I chose the right finish. Yeah, that's going to be really pretty. It's real dry, it's soaking it up. I'll go ahead and get this finished, but before I go any farther, you can't see it, but I do want to coat this bark, and that is really going to soak it up. So we'll do that. We'll probably get 4 coats of the poly on the wood and a couple on the bark, and then we'll come back and flip it around and hollow the inside out. Okay, see you probably tomorrow. Okay, I've got it all flipped around, and I just wanted you to see what he looked like on this side. It looks like a little animal. He's got his feet down here, and he's got his nose in his mouth, and he actually has a horn sticking out right here. But we're going to cut some of that away, but I think we'll be able to keep that look to it. That's going to be kind of nice. So let me get the tailstock up there. We're going to use that for a while. I already made that center in there, so I know it's good. I'm going to start with a 5/8 bowl gouge, and I think we're doing about 450 RPM. Okay, we're going to get it flattened out and then look for a shape. Try to get a little more RPM. About 600 now, that's going to be a little better. Well, I think this might be a little easier. I'm just going to drill a 2 1/8 inch hole in here. Alright, I've got a nice hole in there. I'm going to go ahead and use this carbide. I can reach in and pull up and across this way, and I'll be cutting across the grain instead of into it. I don't know if that cuts any better than my bowl gouge. Some pretty stubborn wood. Yeah, that actually cuts way better. Well, maybe that's just how big it's going to be. I am about ready to open that up. Although, wait a minute, hang on. I'm going to think about this for a while. Actually, I'm going to bring the camera over and show you what I'm mumbling about. Well, see if I can explain what I was mumbling about to myself. This little bowl area here, it's about ready to cut through, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want it to cut through. I mean, I can go straight down from here, but as I look at this point and I look across here, it's just about flat. So I think these wings here are going to look a lot better if they just keep going down and blend into the little bottom. And maybe there's going to be an opening right here, but it might work out because I'm not going to put any soup in it, but I could fill it with M&Ms and then just hold my hand under here and it would be an automatic dispenser. So I'm done for the day. It's really getting hot, and I'm looking forward to cutting this straight down along here. Okay, it's the next morning, and I'm really liking the idea of cutting this away no matter what happens over there. So I've got my freshly sharpened 5/8 bowl gouge, and let's see if we can get that cut away. We're doing 550. Well, that was pretty tricky. I'm going to try the negative rake scraper here. All right, I think we just about have it. Yep, and I got that dished out towards the bottom. It just looks a lot better that way. So, I think we're about ready to go ahead and sand. So let me get all set up and we will do that. Sanding the inside is going to be real similar to what I did on the outside. I'll hold the piece and then just sand these, and when I'm done with that, I'll spin the lathe about 350 and sand it under power. Well, I'm finished sanding on this, and it was very difficult. I could only sand this center section under power. After that, I just had to hold the piece and sand these. But I've got a name for this, and I'll tell you later, because it will fit it quite well. So we're going to go ahead and put the wipe-on poly on the inside. And let's see how this looks. I think that looks pretty nice. Just amazing grain on the inside of this, if you see what's going on right here. Every little bit I took off changed the look. I really like it a lot. So the inside will be just like the outside. It's going to take 4 coats to get it done, just because it's really a dry wood and it soaks it up. So that's what that looks like, and I'll be back when we're all done with the finish. Still looks like a wild animal. So I've got it flipped around. It's against a block and some padded material. It's time to remove that tenon. So I'm just going to get it close, and I'll take it out and sand the little nub off. These things are end grain, they're delicate. I really don't want anything to go wrong, so I'm going to be extra cautious on this one. Doing about 450 RPM, 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Okay, that's good enough for me. So I'll get this off, sand this off, and I'll be right back. Well, here it is. It is all done, and I think it is just a beautiful piece of wood. It has some amazing colors on the inside, and a real fiery looking, kind of a yellowish area there. Same thing on the bottom. It's just amazing colors. I like the shape. I like these little wings coming up here. They look like flowers. I just like everything about it. I even like the fact that he looks like a turtle, and he's got his little turtle mouth right there. And this is an area that I had to make sure I didn't get close to, because that piece of wood would like to snap you like a turtle. But it really went pretty well. And I didn't let it sit for 9 months because I was afraid to turn it. I was afraid that I would ruin this piece of wood, and I wanted every bit of the outside left on it, and I got it. I'm really happy with that. It's still 15 inches long, and it's 12 inches this way, and it's about 3 3/4 all the way around the rim. I finished it with 4 coats of wipe-on poly on the bottom and on the inside. And just because I knew it was not going to be real easy, I kind of nicknamed it the Nightmare on Elm Street, but now I call it the Fantastic Juniper on 81st Avenue. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. It is most appreciated. If you liked the video, you can let me know by clicking the like button. If you click that share button, that would also be great. Special thanks to all you subscribers. You are the best. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. I do all types of turnings, and I love reading all your comments as well. So, till the next time, see you later.